It's Arlette Hardy, and I'm super excited to be back with another pregnancy update. I am blogger and joy strategist at chasing-joy.com. And for those of you who've been around for a while, you know I have taken you on my journey to become a single mother by choice. Took me almost 2.5 years to get pregnant, and I'm super excited to finally be at this stage where I can do pregnancy updates. So I'm going to jump right into it. Forgive me for rubbing my eyes. So the plan is to try and do a few of these updates a few weeks together and put it in a video for you guys, because those of you who've been following along for a while, I've tortured you by doing delayed videos. So I'm going to try and speed them up so that I can be giving you guys updates like in real time in the future with the pregnancy updates. So today I am 5 weeks 2 days, or 5 weeks 3 days, depending on whichever app what it says. Different ones say different things. It seems like some apps start the week at say like 5 days. I'm sorry, they'll say like 5 weeks pregnant, and then some will say you're 5 weeks 1 day pregnant. So it seems like some skip just the 5 day by itself. So depending on the app. But this week I'm actually going to be telling you guys about what happened during my 4th week of pregnancy. But like I said, as of right now, I'm 5 weeks 2 or 3 days, and the baby is the size of either a peppercorn, a sesame seed, or an apple seed, depending on which app. All those things to me are not the same size, but I guess they're all small. That's the main thing. And the baby should have been or be developing its ears and lungs. The neural tube is what will become the spinal cord and brain. And yeah, those things should, so the neural tube should be either completed or closing. So what else has gone on this week? Aversions. Only slight aversion I've been having is to like spring mix, you know, the salad of like mixed greens, like different types of lettuce. So had been trying to eat that because I had bought a big thing of it for a barbecue that I had earlier in the beginning of week 4, and there was a lot left over, and every time I tried to eat it, it tastes like I was literally chewing on blades of grass. And I usually like spring mix. I've eaten that kind of salad mix a lot, and I've never had that experience. So I did force myself to eat it a few times, and then I just couldn't. And it didn't matter like what kind of salad dressing or anything. It just tastes like blades of grass. As far as cravings, I'm kind of off of the KFC, which is good. It was not a good thing to be eating regularly. I have been craving like pizza, but I've not had any because I'm not going anywhere where I can buy a slice, and I live by myself. So every time I order a whole pizza, I end up wasting most of it, or at least half. My sleep has not been too good. So a symptom, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but one symptom that I have started to have is the frequent urination. I don't experience it a whole lot during the day, but at night I'm noticing it. For years now, I've routinely woken up around 4 a.m. and I can normally just go back to sleep, but now when I wake up at 4 a.m. I have to pee. And so that's kind of interrupting my sleep, and then when I go back to sleep, I have to get up again around 6 for work days. That's normal, but when it's not my work day, I still have to get up around that time to do my progesterone and ethyl oleate injection. So I'm feeling like I'm not getting good sleep because I'm waking up to pee, and then I'm getting up, and that keeps me up a little while, and then up again for the shot. And then in general, I've been a little excited. I'm very excited and happy, but also kind of nervous. You know, I've never reached this phase of pregnancy before, and things were still looking positive, so I'm a little anxious. So I think all that's impacting my sleep. So I'm not actually sleeping very well right now. Significant moments during my 4th week of pregnancy. So the 2 most significant moments were my betas. So if you guys saw my testing videos, I already kind of let you know that my betas were good. So beta is the blood test that you take that measures the pregnancy hormone, which is called HCG, in your system. And the expectation for a pregnancy that's progressing normally and healthily is that those numbers would double every 48 to 72 hours. So my first beta on 13 days post-transfer was 1,334, and I had been praying for like around 300, so God like really showed out there. And then 2 days later, on 15 days post-transfer, which I believe was 4 weeks, 6 days pregnant, and my beta was 3,297. So I was just so amazed at those numbers. I had been praying for anything over 2,600. I had actually specifically been praying for 2,700, and I had asked God to please like show off and go to 27 and not just be at the 26, which would have been doubling. And again, he just showed out in my favor, and the beta was 3,297. So those were the best moments of the week. Hearing those results and the sense of relief that, one, yes, I'm still pregnant. It hasn't gone away. And that the numbers are progressing how the doctors want. So another significant thing that happened during week 4 was I actually had a barbecue on what would be exactly 4 weeks pregnant or 4 weeks 1 day pregnant, depending on which app you're using on your phone. And I had a barbecue, and I had people over, and I had cooked food, and they cleaned, and I tried to like space things out the week before so I wouldn't be doing too much. So it was fun. It was good to have people over. It was so hard for me to not tell them that I had gotten a positive test. But at that point, I hadn't even done my betas, so I kept my mouth zipped. And I had only told my cousin, my one cousin, and she did come later. But it was so tempting to like tell my brother and his family and my other friends who came by, but I didn't. I kept my mouth shut. So those were highlights of things that happened during my 4th week of pregnancy. What else? Symptoms. So I already mentioned that I was having some of the frequent urination, specifically at night. Other symptoms that I've been having were shortness of breath. So I noticed that, I guess, toward the end of the 3rd week, but definitely within week 4. And I was a little like, what is going on? Like, I walk up the steps and feel, you know, winded in a way that I wouldn't normally feel. And what was really kind of alarming was one day during the week at work, part of my job is to review other people's work and give them feedback. So I was at this gentleman's desk, and I was giving him feedback on his work, and I was standing, and I was just kind of leaning over. And it was kind of a lot of things to go over, so I was talking a lot, and I felt so out of breath during the conversation. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm not even doing anything, I'm just standing here. So also around that time, one of the pregnancy apps that give you little details about what might be going on with your body, it mentioned the shortness of breath and said that your heart, as early as like the 4th week, will start to beat about 10 to 15 beats per minute faster than normal, kind of like practicing and getting ready for all the increased work it's going to have to do throughout the pregnancy. And so okay, so that's why I was feeling the shortness of breath. Other symptoms, I've had headaches on and off throughout the week, and I don't normally get a lot of headaches, so that's been new, but nothing so bad where I had to take Tylenol. I've been a bit more thirsty than normal, but not like alarmingly, but you know, a little bit I noticed. And my breasts are starting to get a little sensitive, not consistently sensitive, just here or there, and not painful or anything yet. And no nausea so far. A couple of times I felt, oh, I've still been bloated on and off, and I've still been dealing with some constipation on and off. So a couple of times I felt that really full feeling, and then I was like, oh, is this nausea? Am I getting morning sickness? And then I'm like, okay, it's just in your head, like, relax. So no true nausea yet. Exercise. So I did exercise 3 or 4 times during week 4th week of pregnancy. Initially I was going to wait until after I got the betas, but then I decided, you know, God's going to do what he's going to do. Either he's going to allow me to be pregnant now and stay pregnant, or not. So me working out should not make a big difference. So I've basically just been walking. The weather's been really nice here in Philly. Oh, I should have given you guys the date. I believe today is August 29th. So it's the end of the month. No, I'm sorry. It's the 28th. It's the end of the month still, though. So it's been really a lot cooler and nice to go walking. So I've been walking outside. Prior to the embryo transfer, I had gotten up to walking 4 miles briskly. I have only been doing 2 miles, and I wear my heart rate monitor. I've been making sure to keep my heart rate below 140. And now when I walk, I actually drink water while I'm walking. I make sure I finish at least a whole 16-ounce bottle of water during the walk. Just making sure that I don't get too hot and that my heart rate stays low. And because I did go exercise a few times and wore my heart rate monitor, it did confirm my heart rate is indeed about 10 to 15 beats per minute faster than it normally is. Normally my resting heart rate can be like mid 70s to 80, you know, mid 80s, depending, like if I'm driving or something. And now I notice it's like 90 like 90, or sometimes like 87, but it's definitely higher than normal. My medications are still the same. I'm still taking metformin and my thyroid medication. I'm still doing the progesterone and ethyl oleate injections every day. I'm still doing my vitamins, my prenatal, vitamin C, vitamin D, B3, which is also niacin, and vitamin E. And I'm also taking Ridine, which is the generic for Claritin, to keep any histamine things away. The only thing that could possibly change is I had asked for, when they drew my beta, to test my thyroid hormone, and the hormone is already jumping up. It was 1.3 on the day of the transfer, and it was 2.9. So actually this morning I made a call to the endocrinologist. She's out for a couple of days, so she should be getting back to me to let me know if she wants to adjust that medication, and when she wants to see me. What else? What do I miss right now? So I really don't miss anything. I'm so excited and thrilled and feeling blessed to be pregnant. But I have to admit, when I had the barbecue at my house, I did miss not being able to drink, because one of the best things about having a party at your own house is you could get complete deterrent because you don't have to drive anywhere. So I did miss not being able to drink on at my barbecue. But that's it. Purchases, I've not purchased anything else for the baby. I showed you guys in last week's video the little onesies that I purchased. I didn't purchase anything else. My gender predictions for right now, I don't have anything. I have no clue if it's a boy or girl. I don't have any guesses. I'm just so excited to be pregnant. I'm just happy to have had positive betas, so kind of like one thing at a time. What I'm looking forward to most during week 5 is my first ultrasound. I'm counting down the days. I have, as my dad, who had been in the military, as how he would say it, as 3 days and a wake up. So I have 3 full days, and then on that 4th day when I wake up, I'll be going for my ultrasound. So I'm just praying that we will see a baby in the right place. I would love to see the heartbeat, but I don't know if I would, at that point, I'd be 5 weeks, 6 days. I don't know if that would be too soon, but if God would allow it, I would love it. But that's what I'm most looking forward to. My mood, I'm very, very happy. Even though yesterday was a sad day for me. Yesterday was actually the 8th anniversary of my dad passing away. So, you know, a little sad moment there, missing him and whatnot. But in general, right now, this is the happiest I've been in a very, very long time. So my mood is great. I do have some anxiety and fears about the ultrasound and what I might see, what I might not see. But I'm making every effort to just be positive. And as of right now, I have more evidence that I am pregnant and things are going well than evidence of the opposite. So I'm just focusing that way. And lastly, it says belly button in or out. Right now it's an innie. Like I mentioned before, I am a plus size girl, so I do not think I will have my belly button pop. I don't know if I'll get like a traditional D belly. I think I'll have what they call a B belly because I have some fluff, and I will give you guys a belly shot right now. So this is me at 5 weeks 2 days, or 5 weeks 3 days, depending on the app. And pretty much all that's fluff. That's how I normally look. Oh, I did forget to say my weight gain so far. I have gained 4 pounds since before my transfer. But like I said, I had been on a diet before then, and now I'm not. So I think some of that's just picking up a little bit of weight from coming off of the diet, and then I've also dealt with some constipation. So I'm not putting too much significance on those numbers, but 4 pounds weight gain so far. So the camera cut off at the perfect time, but I just wanted to finish out saying that is my update of what happened during week 4 of pregnancy, and I hope to continue this video on letting you guys know what happened during week 5. So keep watching. Guess what, guys? Today I am 7 weeks and 3 or 4 days pregnant, depending on which app I look at. So today I'm going to give you guys an update on what happened on weeks 5 and 6. And then I'll end the video. So this video has weeks 4, 5, and 6. So it's good that I'm doing weeks 5 and 6 together because there's a little bit of drama that kind of overlapped. So I'll just lay that for now. But for the stats, aversions. So I still kind of have the salad greens aversion. I think I mentioned to you guys whenever I'm eating things like spinach or like raw spinach, like baby spinach, or a mixed greens, like spring mix salad, I felt like I was eating grass, like actual blades of grass. It was terrible. But I did discover, oh, Peanut's here. I did discover that iceberg is not giving me a problem. Of course, iceberg has the least nutrients, but I think because it's crunchier, it's working out. Cravings. I had been craving pizza, so I had pizza a couple of times, and every time I had it, it wasn't as good as I thought it was supposed to be. Like, it was just okay. But I was imagining like this really good cheesy pizza, and I wasn't happening. So, oh boy. Cats are racing around in here. Sorry. Let's hope they don't knock the camera over. Okay. Sleep. I have not been sleeping that well. Between waking up to pee, which is one of my symptoms, and having to get up really early on my days off to do the progesterone injection, and then having still some pretty vivid dreams, my sleep hasn't been the greatest, and very often I'm waking up feeling tired. So that kind of sucks. My symptoms, like I mentioned, the frequent urination is one. It's not really that bad, like just a little bit more than normal. It's mostly that when I wake up, hold on guys, I'm gonna get these cats out of here before they knock over the camera. Hold on. Okay, apparently I only needed to stand up and they ran away. So hopefully they won't be back. Symptoms, shortness of breath. I think I mentioned that started like the same week that I got the positive pregnancy test. Okay, hold on. Cats are back. Sorry guys, I'm gonna close the door. Go. Come on. Okay, I got one of them out. Peanut's still here. Where was I? So yeah, shortness of breath started like the same week that I got the positive pregnancy test, and I'm still experiencing that. My heart rate, I saw one of the pregnancy apps said that my heart rate would be like 10 to 15 beats more per minute. And I notice like now, and I'm doing like a lot of talking, I feel a little winded. Had a little bit of hot flashes. Like now it's, today is September 12th. So it's been starting to get a little bit cooler here in Philly. And it's been hard for me to keep the temperature right in my bedroom. So I'll maybe not have the air on and feel comfortable, and then start to get warm, and I put the air on, then I get too cold and I need the heat, and I have like a space heater, then I get too hot, so it's been crazy. But overall, I'm using the air conditioner a little less because it is cooler than it had been. Please excuse the noise in the background. This is what it's like having crazy cats, guys. Sorry. Bloating has been an ongoing issue. Stomach issues in general. Everything has slowed down, meaning I'm still having some issues with constipation. Haven't been having very much with sore breasts. Kind of sensitive here or there, or maybe hurt for like a few seconds and then go away, but not really. Exercise. Yes, I have still been exercising, but nowhere near as much as before. I think during weeks 5 and 6, I exercised 3 or 4 times. So that's like once every few days. And I averaged, basically I was doing walking, and I walked about 2 miles. So that's like half of what I was doing, because I had gotten up to doing 4 miles a couple times a week. A few times a week actually before the embryo transfer. But I feel 2 miles is good. And now I take my water bottle with me because I don't want to get overheated or dehydrated. Whereas before I would just have water in the car for when I finish the walk. And I do have a heart rate monitor that I wear, so I don't go too fast because I'm keeping my heart rate below 140, which is what I heard a long time ago that you're supposed to do when you exercise. I think it has to do with getting too hot, because like I can perspire to cool off, but like the baby is inside me. If it gets too hot, like it can't sweat or do anything. It's just hot. Okay, meds. I'm still on the same medication. So the main one is the progesterone injections, and then I'm also still on Synthroid, and metformin for because I had been close to pre-diabetic, and prenatals, and some other vitamins like C, E, D, and B3, also known as niacin, I believe. But all the same ones. My mood has basically been anxious, and kind of scared, but still really happy. So it's a very weird mood. And then I'll get into the worst of the week. So the worst thing that happened in weeks 5 and 6 was where I was saying there's some drama. So, well, let me step back. The best things that happened. So the absolute best things that happened, some of the best things were I had ultrasounds, and I don't have the pictures in this room with me, so I'll insert them at the end of the video. But I saw the baby, and the baby had a heartbeat, and that was amazing. My first ultrasound was at 5 weeks, 6 days. And then, so what happened was I had that ultrasound that day, and since there was a heartbeat, I decided I would start to tell people. So I told two of my really good friends that I've known since college, and I told my brother and his wife, and I'll get into how I told them in a minute. But those telling people felt so amazing. They were so happy, but then I felt a little nervous because the more people you tell, the more I feel like, oh, if something goes wrong, the more people that will be disappointed. But I told my brother, and that went amazing. And then I got home, and I was just feeling so elated of how well that went. And as I was, driving home, I felt a little wet. But, when you're pregnant, you have a lot of, like discharge and mucus and things happening. So I didn't really think much of it. And then, so I said, I'll go to the bathroom right away. And as soon as I pulled down my clothes, I saw blood. So I was so upset, and I had just told them. So that was like horrible. So that was the worst thing that happened, and that was on 5 weeks, 6 days. So I just immediately went to bed, laid down. I left a message for my nurse. And then in the morning, I called the on-call, because of course it's the weekend, so I called the weekend on-call nurse. And so, because by then it had stopped, it had turned, and it was bright red blood too. Like, it wasn't old blood, it was bright red blood. And then there was a couple small clots, and I was freaking out. But through the night it stopped. I didn't even, ruin my clothes or my bedding or anything. And I did not, I put on a liner, not a pad. So I was so upset and worried, and that was definitely the worst thing that happened that week. So the on-call nurse called me back, and she said, oh, it was probably from the ultrasound, because it's that early on. They're doing an internal, I think it's called a transvaginal ultrasound. So she said probably the wand maybe brushed my cervix, and you have a lot of extra blood vessels and things there when you're pregnant. It's very sensitive, so that's probably why. And so I wanted to be seen to make sure, and she's like, well, no, because if you get seen and then they do another ultrasound, you might bleed more. So then I was like, oh, and it's catch-22. I was so just stressed and upset. I didn't know what to do. So hung up on her. But an hour later, my regular nurse called. So this is a new nurse, guys. Remember, they switched my nurse right before the embryo transfer. Anyway, she's very nice, so she called and she checked with the doctor, and they said I could definitely come in if I wanted to. So I went in the next day, which was Sunday, when I was 6 weeks one day, and I had another ultrasound, and everything was perfect. So that was another highlight, and we could see the ultrasound picture was actually better, more clear. We could actually measure the heart rate, and it was 139 beats per minute. So I was so relieved, especially because I started to tell people. So that was another highlight. So that was the worst thing that happened really over weeks 5 and 6 was the bleeding. Hasn't really happened again. I had another ultrasound on 6 weeks, 6 days, and that went beautifully. No bleeding after. Now the night before when I wiped, there was a little pink on the tissue, but it never became bright red, and then it immediately was brown. So I didn't, try not to let that worry me too much. But in general, I felt pretty anxious and fearful. With each week, I feel a little more confident, but then I'm part of Single Mother by Choice online forum, and then also the Facebook group for the women who use my fertility clinic. And so it's like, I still keep hearing the people like, oh, when I went at 7 weeks, excuse me guys, so you still have the indigestion too with the burping. People say, oh, I went in at 7 weeks or 8 weeks and there was no heartbeat. So I'm still very, very nervous. It's still really early, but I'm still overwhelmed. I'm excited, and honestly, this has probably been the happiest time that I've been in probably since the short time when I was pregnant before. And I remember my mom saying, you're not going to be able to keep it a secret because you're just so happy. You're just like glowing. You're so happy. So I do feel really, really happy. So purchases. I did purchase something, and I'm going to show you guys. And this goes along with how I told my brother and his wife. Because I wanted them to feel special and included, because I know they had, you know, some apprehension about me pursuing the single mom by choice path, but overall, I know they love me and I love the baby. So I wanted them to get them excited, you know, early on, and I wanted them to be among the first people to know. So, you know how everyone has like little weird things about them, quirks. So one weird thing about me is that I suck when it comes to gift cards. If you give me a gift card, I will hold on to it for a super long time because in my mind it's special and I have to use it on something special. So my brother and his wife gave me a gift card for Target for my birthday 2 birthdays ago, right? That's crazy. And sorry guys, the camera cut off. So I'm gonna try to talk faster. But anyway, I thought I was gonna get pregnant right away, and I planned to use their gift card to buy something special for the baby to show them, and that would be how I tell them. So 2 years later, I still had the gift card, so I stuck to my plan. So I went to Target right the same morning when I saw the heartbeat, and I went and I was looking for something that said uncle, which I didn't find, but I did find a cute onesie that said Aunt Magnet on it. So that's what I bought. And then I got a card that was blank on the inside, and the out said something to the effect of wonderful things are happening all the time. And then inside I wrote, you will have a new niece or nephew in April 2018. So I don't know if I've mentioned my estimated due date is April 28th, 2018. So they were so excited and it was amazing. Then I told my cousin, and then it turned out that the 28th is her dad's birthday. So I was like, wow, that's awesome. Who else did I tell? So then after I went and saw, after the spotting incident, I had another ultrasound, everything looked good. I decided to tell more people in my family because I had a relative, my aunt, come from California to visit. And so it was like me and 3 of my aunts and 2 of my cousins, girl cousins. I'm saying I only have girl cousins. I don't know why I said girl cousins. I don't have any boy cousins. But 3 of my aunts and 2 of my cousins, all of them together, and that doesn't happen often. So I figured I would just tell them, even though it was a little earlier than I planned. But they're all people that I know will be praying for us, meaning me and the baby. So I told them, and they were super, super excited. So that was another highlight of the week. So overall, I've told quite a few people. I told a co-worker at work and then another friend as well. So that's pretty much it. What I'm looking forward to most. I have my first OB appointment tomorrow. I'm pretty nervous about it. I hope I get an ultrasound. But if not, I still have another appointment with the fertility clinic this Friday in 3 days. So I should have an ultrasound then. So I'm looking forward to that. Gender predictions. I've been thinking boy a little bit, but I think it's only because I was looking online and they have those 6-week gender predictions based off of where the placenta and the baby are located in the 6-week ultrasound. And that looked like boy, so it had me thinking that way, but who knows if that's right. Peanut, who's this guy here, has been a little bit more affectionate, a little bit more up under me. So that's interesting. I don't know if it's just because it's getting cooler or because maybe I smell different because of the hormones. Oh, another thing I'm looking forward to is I created a little video starring Peanut to announce the pregnancy, but I won't be sharing it for a while because these videos are still delayed. I'm trying to package them closer to speed things up for you guys watching. Belly button is still an innie. I don't think that'll change. And here is a bump shot. I think I'm a little puffier, but I know it's just like bloating. You know, I'm already a plus size girl, so I don't know how long it'll take to actually notice like a baby bump, but I think this is mostly just bloating. I do feel puffier and feel a little self-conscious, like the people just think I'm gaining weight. Oh, and my weight. So I think over the last 2 weeks, I've gained like 3 or 4 pounds, which I don't like. So that's it. So that's it for weeks 4, 5, and 6 of my pregnancy updates. Hopefully everything continues to go well. If you're seeing this video, then things have still been going well. I just ask you to keep us in prayer. Definitely leave me your comments and questions if you have questions about what I'm going through in the pregnancy, or if you're due around the same time in April, or if you are however many weeks, 3, 4, 5, or 6 weeks while you're watching this. Definitely leave me your comments and questions, and as the videos get caught up, hopefully I'll be able to answer them more real time. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your support and following me in this journey, and I'll see you in the next update. Bye.